Hello, we are here to do the update for the Twin Flame Collective and energy check-in. Yes, I know, guys, it's thick. The air is thick. Now, I've pulled up the astrology chart. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Currently, we have the sun in Pisces. We also have the moon in Leo. Okay, what does that mean? Heart chakra. There's some pretty gnarly aspects happening at the moment. We are moving into the full moon in Virgo, which I will be launching potentially after this video. I'll put it up on Premiere at a point in the day. It might be in the I haven't worked out when I'm putting it, but they are going to be pre-recorded so that you guys get your information. You'll have your house systems, and you can drag forward and back on the video. So, you know, if you are new in the house. Ooh, that's interesting. If you are new in the house and you do follow Twin Flame Path, you know, we cover the astrology, moon energy, you name it, we cover it. Psychic energy, chakras. Oh, heck. Okay, some pretty heavy energy coming through here, guys. Ooh, let's have a look in the book. How are we all doing? Not new, old hair. I know. We got our tribe. Any newbies that want to come along, warm welcome. I do have a new deck, which I have been using with my clientele. So if you want to book in, the special's still up. The link is below. And we have sessions open in the evenings at the moment, and other sessions moving forward. The calendar's open. So if you need one, go ahead. Okay, so, well, God, you know, I love it when the universe is kind of, you know, uses the ruins and uses the cards, and it all interlinks to the current astrology. Now, we are having sun energy at the moment coming through, which can potentially mean that we can be looking at our belief system surrounding love, Mercury. Okay. Sun at the moment is in Pisces. The moon is in Leo. And we are moving towards the Virgo full moon. Now, we are entering into Pisces season. So, you know, Pisces it relates to Neptune, but it's the dream, it's the delusion, it's innovation, and it's also our psychology. So there can be things towards that coming through. Now, Uranus and Taurus can also relate to crown chakra. And it also, with Aquarius energy, it's also crown chakra again. So if you've been feeling a little bit like you got the bends, it does make perfect sense due to the fact that we do have, you know, the higher head and the Mercury energy is all coming through for us collectively. So you might feel, especially with the 12th house, a little bit dizzy, a little bit off, and you know, but we're moving the passion that's coming through. The sacral chakra, it can be fear-based frequency, it can be emotions, what we're wanting. It's the dream, right? It's the Pisces energy. The distortion is coming from the pain body experience of the higher heart chakra, which I did say Leo relates to higher heart chakra. It's heart chakra, but it's also third eye, egoic perspective, and it's in the sun. So it does relate to the sun. So feminines, your ruin that you have coming through at the moment is that. So when we look at Twin Flame Paths, number one, I will talk about cards that are coming through for the feminine, the masculine, and the in-between energy. And if I'm guided to, if I feel there's an external influence, I may pull karmic energy, but it's more to do with anything that's blocking it and things to that degree. Now, you also can look at the yin to the yang, because inside of the emotional body, inside of the feminine and the masculines, we are looking at where potentially we have been on path, where we've been on mission, what our fallacies were, what our belief systems were, but it can be an egoic higher heart chakra purge. The funny thing is we have Mercury coming through in your crowning energy with the native spirit animal totems, right? But it's, so again, Mercury, you know, really feeling as though during this stage, some of these things that we wanted haven't come full circle. I'll read from the book. For the feminines, solar wheel, which makes sense because in between there is, hi Diva, There is the spindles of our chakra changing. Mercury's going direct. We're going to have all planets direct, and that will be, it's coming out of shadow by the 13th. So at the moment, again, headaches, crown chakra, sinuses, it's all Mercury-orientated energy in crown chakra. But we're also having the frustration to do with it. So moving to the Virgo moon, yes, get into light body frequency. It could be a purgatory effect, but, you know, you can guide yourself into it in detachment. That's really what's coming through. Now, if you're feeling lethargic, balance the sacral chakra, but I feel the heaviest energy is above at the moment. This connects to Leo, Sun, Sunday, yellow, and fire, which the metal ox here to balance it, you can use yellow. It's also a vibration 5 here. So it's about the changes that we're going through and enduring and how we're feeling directly connected to our soul paths. Success, vitality, good fortune, popularity. The higher self, the spiritual enlightenment, divine blessings, reversed blindness and gullibility. So yes, you know, some of us may be frustrated to do with, you know, when we know better, we do better. But it also can be something to do with high true heart, something to do with, it's more than words, you know, it's actions and it's words. And I remember going through a stage in my journey, and it was what I was wanting. It was not just the you know, the words, it was the actions that matched it. But ironically enough, how do I put it? When you do look at it in the separation stage, the actions do directly match, because if we're saying we don't want any drama and they're not bringing the drama to us, it's actually aligned to what we're directly asking for. So it's the yin to the yang, but at the moment there's a lot of pain body experience for some feminines that can be coming through, but it's also, you know, trying to have the strength and having that expansion of the heart. Okay, so it's an entirely positive as an individual rune. When drawn on its own, it is an indicator that indicator of present conditions. It confirms that all is well, or all should soon be. The sun shines on the quadrant's doings. If in the company of other more difficult ruins, however, it may suggest that the quadrant is overconfident. I don't think so. Well, nah. Feminines, are you guys overconfident? Potentially from an egoic point of view that they're never coming back, maybe. But from a confident point of view, I don't feel so, okay? The term patience and twin flame path don't wash. You kind of get over that too. I told you I was a bit of a comedian. And then the other aspect is divine timing. Divine timing is zero, okay? What do I mean by that? Divine timing all comes down to, okay, do we have a blockage? So, do we have a blockage? Well, you know, if they came in, would we let them? I mean, probably not, you know, hex and beast sort of thing. So, divine timing is when we feel in alignment. And I've always found in my twin flame path that when I've moved through the 7 stages of healing and the chakras have been unblocking, and then I've shifted the energy back onto my life and I've started getting things in order. If I ever had attachment energy, it would stagnate and there would be, it would be ghost silence. Mercury energy, talking stick, you know, zero, zilch, nanya. Then, as soon as I was getting into hive, I was going, oh, you know, I'm doing my art and I'm working and I'm making a choice. You know, if you guys physically have been stuck and feeling you can't do X, Y, and Z because of, you know, what if they come in, and that could be going to a relationship, it could be going to work or changing a house or doing any of that. Moving into alignment of where you are currently and focusing on that is perfect. And if you do that, you suddenly see change. But it's the fixed egoic beliefs that blocks it, because it is energy. And you will come to a point in the journey that when you do a lot of this work on yourself and we shift out of alignment and into it, and I read for those of you who are together, those of you who are in no communication and communication, because it's energy. And this is the current energy of which we are transiting through. So let's have a look. When entering a normal lit room from the bright outdoors, it can appear dark to us. In such circumstances, we should pause and allow our vision to readjust, which is what I was saying in the Virgo video, which I am going to release soon. To do with the fact that moving into Pisces season, it's very crown chakra orientated. And the best analogy I can give you is it is a little bit, it's very intuitive. Jupiter and Saturn, it's collective energy, but it's also Mercury in orientation. It's water energy, so it's deeply intuitive. And so we're all adjusting collectively to trusting our intuition. Intuition is not based on what another person will do. It's what you're guided to do. It's psychic energy. So in doing such, you may not automatically feel that the decisions that you're personally making in your life, feminines or masculines, that it's based on a surety, because that's attachment energy. And with Uranus and Taurus, it's showing us it's point blank zero pointless to do that, because yes, tomorrow another circumstance will come and you adjust to a point. You realize as it comes, you deal with that as it comes. So when we're in the past, we're gaining that little bucket and we're bringing those things home, which is, process of elimination, understanding, lessons, blessings, and it will come in handy. It's not that it was like, yeah, we really want that to happen to us. No, we don't. But I can actually say on the other side of that, which I'm still going through things, that it does come in handy and it does help you to look at perspectives differently. You become a strong manifester, not through setting intentions, through the laws of attraction, which you are always given what you can handle. You always are. So I don't tend to manifest no more. I trust in the universe will give me everything I need. Used to be a manifester, but it was all of the lower octane. Now I have divine trust. Sometimes I fall back in that, where I do go back into this is going to be forever, and it can be victim consciousness, and I really stuck with that vibration. But other times when I understand what's going on with me, I'm like, oh, okay, then, and I let go and bang, it shifts. It's energy. Now, there's the in-between energy is the cycle. It's the wheel, right? Something from the past is coming back, which is it's pointing towards masculines. And it's moving towards feminine. So you could be feeling that energy at the moment, but this is, being that it's a full moon, it's an end of a cycle. So it can feel purgatory. It's like both energies to the yin and yang are closing a cycle, understanding what needs to be shifted about. It's a bit like you having a full-blown business, masculine having a full-blown business, and you're looking at your lives because you're managers of your own lives, and there's problems. There's something out of sync, which is the Virgo video will give you the houses and what potentially can come up. And I'll try and guide you as we move forward with that. So with those energies, through Mercury in shadow and moving into the full moon in Virgo, it's a purgatory effect to heal the wound. So through looking at that circumstance, we can shift things about to help the connection come in. And a lot of the download that I was getting was external influences that potentially before we enabled, we allowed, and we're tying that cycle up. But, a lot of people are feeling they're wanting the balance between work and life, family and home, people and situations, and also seeing how that's happened on our side of the fence too. Where potentially you put your life on hold because of a circumstance, or you haven't put yourself first for other things at all times, and there can be harbored resent to do with that. That's coming up. But as we move direct, shifting it around, gaining a different perspective, we can find some healing and a brand new storyline coming through. Now, the desire is there, so it can be. You got video and sound. Let me see if taking this out changes it. Any better? Any better? So with the desire card, it can be anger, it can be resent, aggression, and it can also be pouring it into something. If you're finding you're not sleeping, it's because Pisces energy is there. When you get to a point you feel sluggish, it's underactive. So check the sacral chakra, and it is the chakra that is joint in the twin flame connection. It also sometimes can be spiritually where both of you had misunderstood that it wasn't just an intimate connection, or that it wasn't just based on chemistry. And that's where the heart chakra energy is coming from. But it's also in the collective energy layman's terms, Virgo is linking to the 6th house placement. And it's, you know, where have we been off path and what are we going to do about that now? And it's healthy boundaries. It's the house of hidden enemies. It can be feeling that somebody has control over a circumstance higher than us. And you know, we're going to be shifting that perspective at the moment. It is a joint energy. It is a cycle. We have cycles in life. Now, masculines. So I've got to find it in the book. It's in reverse, let's see. And it does make sense because we are going to be having, collectively, they've been gaining self-esteem, looking at ways people have used them, feeling that they are more than a bank, right? And giving their power away, so to speak, but also learning that that was something that they believed was needed in order to get those things. So self-worth energy has been building, and now it's moving into the house by the 3rd of Gemini, and the North Node's there. So, hi, Eddie. A lot of masculines will be embodying the frequency of, you know, tackling circumstances, of communicating effectively, so that that frequency can be more transparent, so to speak, but firm boundaries. So if in a circumstance they were feeling during that Mercury retrograde that people were controlling them, they were really seeing the very ugly side of circumstances. And so triggers, yes, from a psychic point of view, can come through to you, feminines. And you might have felt very disheartened, like wanting to run, not feeling that vibration to be attractive, and embodying that energy. So just be mindful of that, especially when you're thinking on your twin. If they do have people around them or they're going through an experience that is very adverse, you can embody that. So it's about acknowledging it when it comes in, breathing in and breathing out. When you see the signs and synchronicities, Gikla and I were talking about this. Initially, when you start seeing them, it's because you've been seeking outside of yourself. So universe is helping you with that awakening process, because it's like an existential crisis. It's like, what do I do? What now? You know, and you start seeing the numbers, the animal totems and things to that degree, and you're researching, what does this mean? How does this directly resonate with me? So with the circumstance of visualizing it, then you work in those numbers to understand where you are in the matrix of it. When you get to a point where you're detaching from it, it can become annoying where you want a restraining order against the numbers. So what you need to do is, when you see them, if you've already been thinking on those circumstances and the numbers that links to a thought process you already had, that's perfect. You need to acknowledge to universe that, yes, you know. Thank you. Yep, I know. Thank you for telling me I am in alignment. And continue to do that, and that should dissipate, and you will find that can go away and it won't bombard you. It'll come back, but it's to acknowledge it without it triggering you. It'll irritate you, but acknowledge it so it doesn't trigger you. So they have horse. This is their ruiner, and I've got lots of videos to record today. But I couldn't let you guys go without getting your moon energy and your twin flame update. Horse, which is freedom. It's also air. And it's funny because it's almost the horse and carriage, the chariot, but it's team orientation. And it may have been that both individuals at a point expected one to do more than the other. And now we've experienced that with other people, and we're seeing how it's team orientation. There's no I in team. So it's the horse and the carriage, the chariot. It's mind, body, soul, being in alignment in order to deal with that. It's working with people who are working with us, and it's also air energy. Okay. In some respects, the horse came to be an even more important animal in the Indo-Europe people more than cattle. Without that special relationship established between man and horse, domesticating of cattle would have been impossible. Moreover, the survival of tribe groups in the face of competition from aggressive neighbors. Okay, so it's connected to Pegasus. It's also Odin in energy, to whom no obstacle was insurmountable. It's very Mars in energy, which I did say Mars is transiting into Gemini, so self-esteem is building, logic and reason and understanding, give and take energy. And as it moves into Gemini, it will be very vocal in nature. Breaking in a wild horse requires more than brute force. And this is where it's saying for the masculines, it's not that they were stubborn, they learn things differently, and their soul has a different kind of process than divine feminines. But through this point where they're at, they're kind of like, okay, like this hasn't broken me. This is giving me clarity. This isn't my point of descent. This is my point of liberation. Okay, travel, partnership, marriage, self-control, esoteric, inner journey, astral projection. Okay, so now the energy is you can't poker face it, right? Masculines are seeing the truth of this. This can be where they see the flaws and the errors of their ways, that you can't fake it till you make it. So something in their auric field is coming up. And being that it's in reversed, it will turn in the upright, but they've got to experience the lower to get to the higher. I feel shadow energy in a sense. There are circumstances surrounding them to show them that a situation was a choice based on recklessness, haste, disharmony, mistrust, betrayal, two to tango. What can I do to transform that? Okay, this is where they're at. So questioning our desires, questioning our hearts, finding forgiveness, having things come up, right? Crowning energy with the masculines as they're ready to address this. It was very painful to see the shadow truth. During Mercury retrograde, it has been very complicated. Looking at the past, you know, they know that you deserve justice, and they did want to create balance in their life. They had a belief about a circumstance. In their heart, this is going to be very, whatever this is at a very personal level, because we're reading for collective energy. This could be acknowledging the fact that they have needs too, acknowledging the fact that they can't put others always ahead of themselves. And, you know, feminines, with you guys, that may have not been so, but the mirror is we've had that happen on both sides of the fence. So this is where we grasp that understanding and we cross it over. But there's something, it can be guilt, it can be due to they knew maybe something would turn out this way and they were doing it to run. And then they ran where, you know, like Giggle and I were saying, where angels fare to tread. It has, but it's in shadow, Andrew. So it's going direct by the 13th. It'll give us time to meditate. So things will be coming at us fast, and we are moving to very psychic orientated energy. So with the in the heart, like they can't let you go, but they also can't let, they're trying to reach forgiveness inside themselves to do with these circumstances, to do with maybe the ill choices, the recklessness, the disharmony, and they're trying to make, moving forward, they've got to make peace with themselves before they can communicate with you. And even if you're in the connection, some of these things, when they do come up emotionally, their actions having a consequence, because it's more 3D in nature, the masculine energy, and the feminines is more the emotional energy of things. So we can always look at both. So the things that we do and the regret connected to it. Foundation. Okay. I feel as Mars moves over to the house of Gemini, this is where the shift's going to start moving for them, and especially by the 13th. Now, feminines, you guys have the wheel as well, and it's in reverse. This is your crowning energy. You may be feeling like, you know, this is gone, this is done, or I just keep attracting the same vibration. This is the way it's going to be forever. Remember, just because you're not hearing something doesn't mean to say that nothing's changing. Yes, on the external, you may be seeing it, and that's where I see shapeshift, or something is shifting. Even if they're putting a brave face on, this is a very personal thing internally that's going on. In the past, you may have had to be very careful about what you gave, but maybe you're realizing you gave too much. And so there can be a, how do I put it? Some of you can be deeply sensitive to a point where you're sensory and you're gauging it. How much do I give? How much do I take? But this might have caused financial hardship for you in these circumstances. And it might have been enabling. Separately, it could have been very emotionally taxing, physically taxing. Really treading carefully, choosing your words, mincing your words. And I feel you guys are coming out of that, but it is coming up. Something to do with the past. Some of you may be feeling values were off. Value centers were off. Okay. Now, this is in the heart. In your heart, you know, it's almost like may the best man or woman win. The thing is, sometimes it's, and competition energy is coming through, but it's not necessarily that all of you are feeling that. But you could be very on guard with your heart. You could be to the point, look, you know, you've given your left limb, you've given your heart. You know, well, you're with this, you're with that. Secret admirer. Okay, let me understand this. Okay, this could be the energy of if the person had or has a karmic and how that made you feel. This can also, it's secret admirer, right? Someone has deeper feelings for you than you are letting on. This can be two things. You going into the embodiment of the past and what it took from you. Hello, necessary truth. And then it can be, maybe they don't love me. Well, it's saying they do. It's saying, and this is why I say, just because of what you see doesn't mean to say it's not love. There's circumstances. Look at our own lives of where we have had a circumstance, we've been stuck, we might have been in a job. And you might have become unwell and couldn't do the job. And then people are thinking, oh, you're just flaking off. But it's not that, you know, oh, mum, well, I can't do it. So, you know, body language and that of what we don't speak, what we haven't heard, we can't cast judgment on. And the thing is, sometimes the things, you know, deeply we move through and we're healing. Oh, thanks, Star. So the things we know, yes, we can critique and look at, right? But sometimes we can tend to move into the vibration of tuning into, gee, you know, what happened? You know, are they doing this? Are they doing that? And would this or that happen? And when you do that, you're actually embodying a storyline that hasn't even occurred, and you can accidentally manifest it. Plus, it's self-loathing energy towards self. And it can be very psychologically distorting. Emotions that you're feeling, it's a real great time to journal. Get some of that anger out, get some of that. And you know, we talk about in moon energy of actually writing it down and journaling, moving into that moon phase, because it's a purgatory effect, but it's a release. It doesn't have to be you're going to be crying, but it's what do you need to let go of? What doesn't resonate with you anymore? Is it looking at the same story? Is it productive for you? Each time that comes up, yes, if it needs to, it's going to naturally happen. But to get to a point where we can actually do something beautiful in each day to keep in balance and alignment, have a bath, go for a walk, get the fresh air, feel the sun on your face, to just have a holiday from that vibration. But journal down, you know, burn it, cast it into the wind to release it, and, you know, wash your system over. Drink fluid and detoxify. You are loved, okay? And, you know, the thing is, we tend to say then, if that's so, then why aren't they here? But the thing is, we don't know the background story of what's blocking them. It can be emotional, it can be conditioning from childhood, but I do feel a shift. Most of them, I do feel, is directly getting to a point where if they have gone into a connection, for instance, or it's a job or it's a family-related dynamic, their intent wasn't to hurt that person, nor was it to hurt you, nor was it to cause more mess. In the knowingness of them running, yes, they knew they were doing that. Did they think it was going to be permanent? Probably not. Sometimes we choose quick fixes and it ends up being a lot longer. But then there's the entanglement of that needs to be cleared up, which it's not practical to just go click, bang, come here. Some of it can be financial. There can be houses that are connected. There can be children interconnected. So how it relates to your twin, I'll have to do a personal reading, and I will answer super chats after. But it does feel as though they're on that frequency of going, I can't fake this. This doesn't resonate with me. But my ego of truth of how I have been taught to be, what my role is as a person in other people's lives is this. But it's like they're this now and it doesn't fit. So the pain body experience relating to that is this is not my heart's desires. This is hell on earth. I feel guilt and compassion and empathy towards the individuals I've hurt and trespassed. I'm self-loathing myself right now, and I'm trying to make right. But feminines, you guys with half the storyline, you know, those of you that are in communication, you have the benefit. And sometimes it's not a benefit, honestly. You're like, oh, heck, okay. You know, your foundation, you're fighting it. Some of you are wanting to run. Some of you are feeling, you know, you don't want to keep fighting. You don't want this drama. Yeah, but we all face the music. Okay, some of you are letting go, and that's the way it's supposed to be. The letting go is letting go of this story. You know, feeling used, feeling like this person was only wanting you for one thing. It's not so. This is not, it sounds horrible. When it happens, it feels personal. You did this to me. You just wanted me for this, for take, right? No, because we did at a point think something was going to develop. And that's okay because it's intuitive. It's correct. Yeah, everyone's going to face their journey. Could you live on an iceberg forever without a jacket? No. And generally, if you have entered into a cycle, I mean, most masculines I've coached, 9 times out of 10 don't spend a great deal of time with a karmic, and that can be at the location or with it, you know, because they're needing a break from it because it's too heavy. Then they go back, then they have a break from it, and then they go back because it doesn't resonate. They'll potentially make excuses. Feminine, see the mirror. We've done this before ourselves because there's avoidance of the issue. The issue now has been challenged by the 2nd house, and we're going to be having Virgo in the 6th house, which can cause great agitation and anger. So if you're around a masculine at the moment and they're getting very frustrated and a little bit ratty, it's because it's coming up. It's coming up inside them. Pisces is also the psychology surrounding it. They're tapping into their psychology of situations. Yep, heart chakra and 3rd eye. Very true. I put that in the Virgo video. Anywho, let's pull 3 cards. Which ones should I use? I'll use the the Lover's Oracle. Lover's Oracle. Beautiful deck. Really hard to shuffle, might I? Okay. What do we need to know about this connection? Moving through the Virgo full moon. They know that you guys, I'll pull 3 for the feminines and the 4 masculines, what they want you to know, and vice versa. Okay, they know that you're healing at the moment. They know you're on guard. You're a bit tired. Some of you are having trouble sleeping, but there is this recuperation coming. There's this rebirth inside you, so it can feel very scary. You know, some of you might be getting to a point that you're, one breath you're very, very neutral. The next breath you're feeling very protective of yourself. Yeah. Sacral chakra. Balance the sacral chakra, doll. The sleep energy can come through because you're having an upgrade. And also because, yeah, they're going to go into a descension, into ascension. Okay, so feminines. They know that you're recouping and recovering. You're having a rebirth. It is important right now to take a step back and spend some time alone instead of placing your focus on another. Now is the time to give to yourself. Now, this was, you know, this is in the past position. They know that you had to do what was right for you. They knew that you couldn't keep doing what you were doing previously. They knew that this was not working. So the recovery energy, the reflection back as you needed to, find forgiveness for yourself. You didn't have to endure it. It isn't endurance, right? We're not on a race. It's not, you have to keep, accepting that no. That's why the separation energy and detachment happens, so that you can upgrade and heal. Balance. Now, I do feel by the Libra moon, you will feel very different towards this scenario. Balance. Love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A relationship is one of both support and challenges. So you can have push-pull. Accept that inside you. They've seen this. What they want you to know is that they understand this now. They also see your point of view towards the requirement and the need of balance within connections of the give and take. And they do want to have a celebration with you. They do want these happy days, and you guys are going to receive your rewards for this. Merely you showing them the higher octane of situations when they go through and they have a lower octane, it's the art of appreciation. And this does cause both individuals to fight for the both parties. So some say, with the trauma, how can that be so? When you do see the person's physically showing up and there's regret, there's intent, there's a transformation inside of their own life so that they can be the best version of themselves, you're effectively dealing with a different person. So it doesn't tend to be as, you still get triggers, but you don't tend to look at it the same. It's easier. Okay. Now, through the Virgo moon, emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they also can distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. So they know at the moment you have the right to feel those things, right? But they're trying to give you the space. When there's detachment, for those of you in no contact, they're embodying this energy because they believe this of themselves. You also believe that. So the reflection of whatever is coming up for you, it can be sadness that you haven't got that happy story. It can be, and I had to look at my journey and say, heck, I don't know what's in my future. If I had had those things that I'd wanted, maybe that would have held me back and I wouldn't be here today. So I'm not saying I didn't have dreams, and I did get very upset about them. But the older I'm getting, the more I'm developing, I'm looking at it going, no, I really do trust in universe, that universe does have my back, that they've got a really great storyline for me. So I tend to be more half glass full, half glass empty. I kind of look at that. So, yes, acknowledge the pain of what you didn't get, but then set it that, well, okay, if I tolerated that and it was far less, imagine the potential when I get far more. Okay, just look at the mirror. What's going on for masculines? In masculine's life, please, what do we need to know? Really interesting, guys. They're kind of all pointing to the past. Okay, there's a circumstance playing out. I'm going to channel this. This is weird. And I'm getting a headache. I'm getting a really bad headache from this. So this is very problematic. It says, wait, don't rush in and allow nature to take its course. I think there was a point in their life. This might have been in a connection, and with your connection, it was almost like they were looking at the theme divine timing. Now, with divine timing, I think that's coming to a reality check now. Where do we have power to shift that divine timing? Because, sometimes we can say divine timing and we are enabling, we are allowing and tolerating, and they've got 6th house placement. We all do collectively at the moment. Where can we shift things about and make those decisions? So I think they're really looking at the past and seeing the error of their ways, that we could wait forever to have the most perfect environment, to have the most perfect connection, which is unattainable because there's no such thing as perfect. And it's also delaying, hurting people, hurting individuals. Don't want to, upset the apple cart. This has been a huge collective download pretty much from mid-January through to now. And that's why we had Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. Where were those interconnections affecting the connection? Where were the tribes and the pack mentalities directly affecting the connection? Where were we enabling and allowing that to be so? Right? So now they're looking at it, and we have to look at it. Where have we been allowing that and not making decisions in our life to transform, to usher our life in? And that's on the feminine side as well. It's like, because that's the 3D work. On the masculines, it's in their life. Their emotions are coming up relating to, wow, you know. Next card, still facing the past. Acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times we must accept things as they are. There is no point in trying to change what is beyond our control. And that was the closure. That was the reality that we can't. It's almost like the saying, that's a you problem. It's like sometimes we enable because we have love, empathy, understanding. If those circumstances were blocking and we were giving our power away and giving to others too freely at all times, above and beyond our own, that's including our twin, that's including family, tribe, work, wherever that relates to. That's our personal power. This has been the lesson. What in a responsibility setting, which lies on many energies because it's tribe, there's no I in team, it takes two to tango. It takes many energies. If something's not working, you can't make it work for other people. That's their job. That's their lesson. And it may be in an empath, and it's almost like being a spiritual teacher. I can't get you where you need to be. I can give you a viewpoint, and hundreds of people can give you a viewpoint, but you individually are doing that work, and you will form your own viewpoint. So the acceptance is, and this is what I said to do with manifestation, journaling, doing boards and things to that degree. It's still theoretically lack mentality, because embodying the energy, like the laws of attraction, it just happens, because every circumstance happens for a reason. So it's a bit like Uranus and Taurus. You know, Taurians are going to be really learning how to not be too fixated on building a pyramid of protection, due to the fact that life is changing constantly, and that the protection is inside. It's like you are the tool in your life to be able to step up and change something, because everything's always changing. So come to an acceptance of what comes up in a trigger point. Once we do individually in our life, you're going to find a 24-hour shift if you can do that. A message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. Okay, this is her. Yes, you could get some communication, but I do feel movement. So the stage you guys are going through at the moment is to open that portal, but it can feel a little bit yucky. Breathe in, breathe out. Any questions in the house? Then I need to go back to my zodiac signs for romance, and I've got to record the psychic energies. Yeah. And sometimes, you know, we don't know we're doing this, right? We don't know how we're feeling. That's why journaling or sitting with it and looking at the trigger, not like, oh, I want to get away from the trigger. No, go into it. What is it? Where does it come from? Is there a pattern happening here? What is that embodiment? Because in Twin Flame Path, you've got to understand it is energy. So sometimes we'll go to see a love reading and we'll be going, huh? Okay, then what's the blockage? And you're looking left and right. It's joint. There's a joint chakra. So doing mirror work can help, but it's more from an empathy point of view, how we can understand the other person's perspective. So initially when we're in the thick of it, we're looking at it only from our perspective. And then you have to, because it's personal. Then you move beyond and you can look at maybe what their role is, how they did it, why they did it, but not to a point where you want to become a chessboard and manipulate a circumstance. Can I get a message of Tia for our connection? I shall pull a card for you, my love. These cards are really hard to shuffle. The proposal hasn't come yet. Be careful what you ask for, Louise. Yeah. You'll be like, heck. Hey, Stella. I miss you, beautiful. Are you working hard? So, okay, for SK, don't rush in yet. Step back. Don't rush into it. Allow nature to take its course. There's a closing cycle. You don't need to push it. Just allow. I do feel in a way that you'll feel their energy. And it's funny that I'm actually noticing the masculine energy directly behind the feminine. You'll know when they're coming because you'll feel the energy in your environment, and that will be your heads up. But try, if you haven't got any communication back, because I know you messaged me on, just leave it at the moment. Step back, allow. Stella, you surely can. You have heard something lately, Stella. Have you had communication lately? Because I see communication and conversation, and you kind of confused. You're like, what does that mean? Has there been communication from them? I miss you too, but look, Libra's been working, woman. You know this. Either spiritually, with family. I see a phone call. I see communication coming. It's actually going to surprise you what the content is. I see communication from them. This keeps coming up, okay. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. I think it's linked to your work in a good way. It's been given to you at the right time. Trust the process. I do see a phone call coming in. I can pull a card for you, Louise. Look deep into your heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. Have you been stuck? Have you been feeling guilt? Like second guessing yourself? Can you give me whatever message is needed for this Libra girl? Why am I seeing a building? Okay, so it's like, how do I put it? Take it slow, doll. Don't rush. Yeah, there you go. Come out again for Louise. Why? Just take it slow. Don't feel guilt. Look at the energy. Sometimes when we're ushering new energies, and it's to heal us, it's to show us that we've been worth it. It's to show us a different way. But, it's hard because when we are getting ascension symptoms and psychic energies, it's very hard to have a connection, but it's helping you close cycles. It's helping you look at things. Just be open. Don't feel guilty. That person has a connection. It's okay. But there must be a reason why this person has come into your life. So just observe it and just know that you have power to say no at any time. We change our mind. It's okay. It's not against the law. For the Libra girl. Okay, we've got crown chakra, right? Crown chakra on what? How is this going to go? And my crown has been off the hook. Off the hook to a point where emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perspective. It's because we've got crown chakra, right? I'm seeing a building, though. I keep seeing a building, and it looks like an industrial warehouse. Are you doing something in this warehouse style? Is it a premises? It's almost like a factory converted to townhouses. What is this location that I'm seeing? Yeah, the crown is there because of Pisces season, but it can make you really psychic, but just create healthy boundaries. You need time to absorb, and you might be highly susceptible. Hi, psychic situations. How are you? So crown will be off the hook for you. So that is for Corona Johnson. Your perspective and a building I'm seeing. Looking at building for a business and healing. Well, I'm seeing a physical building, right? And this is like a red brick. I'm seeing, it almost looks like a warehouse and it's industrial. Hi, Dale. It's industrial. I can see red bricks, but I can see metal, like the black, very, what do they call it? Sort of black pane windows. So it's modern, but it's rustic and it's industrial. And I do see that building and you directly connected to it. So yeah, you do have luck relating to that. You might find creative endeavors, especially from a business point of view, because you have 5th house placement there. It should ease up moving into the 13th. It can be pretty busy. So any other questions in the house? It's orange. Hi, orange. How's the orange analogy going? The one that, not analogy. How is the tool going? Okay. And I'm not talking about a person. I'm talking about the tip I gave you. And sacral chakra did come up. So I did say when we have the orange chakra, when we're trying to make a decision, go into the orange chakra. If we're guided back to what's happening, we have attachment, come back to this moment. What can you do? If we're feeling as though, we're listening to our friends, our family, their opinions, go back into the orange chakra. If you're feeling tired, go back into the orange chakra. If you're going to hex and base someone, go into the orange chakra and get to that red light and go stop, breathe. So I'll pull one card. I can pull a card for you. Thank you for those of you that donated. I deeply appreciate it. I'm doing okay. Seeing you love. How's everyone? It looks fun though. Like I'm excited for you. It looks like you're going to be the whole building. It's big. So, okay. The red card tarot. Deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what you feel's right. Oh, snap. That's a bit mean, isn't it? It's like, what? You mean I've got to choose? I hate it when the universe does that. What are you feeling? What are you wanting to do? And you're like, okay, do what you feel. Oh, so you know I'm not lying. Oh, thanks, sweet. Thank you. Yoga, Reiki, counseling. Cool. What area? That's what I'm trying to get onto YouTube. I'm collaborating with different people to come and do different sessions so we can get this and it can be live. So whatever that thing is, red cord tarot, look, I've got a very good feeling. You do have some new ideas that you're coming through very personally in your own life. I feel you're wanting to implement them. Oh, you're welcome, Dale. No, it looks really good. It looks like a good idea. I can see it being quite successful. You may actually even live there. But it feels professional. It looks really nice. But that for red cord tarot, I can see some sense of a creative idea coming through for you. And it does feel, it feels like it will be beneficial. You're perfecting it at the moment. You're looking over the details. You're doing the work, okay? I'll just say that. You're doing the work. It will be exciting. It feels exciting. I've got knotty hair all of a sudden. It's like, what's going on with my hair? Okay, I'm going to have to love you and leave you because I need to launch this Virgo video. And I also need to get back to work as business or we're not going to get our romance reads for the Twin Flame Soulmate Energies. Yes, and then I have to get onto Tuesday and start doing the psychic energies for the month. Yes. Sounds good. We'll have to have a chat sometime. Love and light, guys. I'll see you soon. Take care. Please comment on the video. It helps it move through. And I'll see you guys soon. Enjoy the Virgo reading.